Hi, I'm Wolfy. I'm a CSGO caster. You may have seen me if you were paying attention to the Katowice B stream recently, also the MDL Global Challenge and all of that good stuff.
Amazing. So we had an interview a couple of months ago, probably, I think, with you. And we ended that interview sort of jokingly saying like, oh, we'll see you casting the next CSGO major. So we weren't that far off, I'd say. You were casting the B stream for IEM Katowice. Can you tell us a bit more about it? How was the whole experience?
It was utterly insane. So the B stream was out of ESL's Cologne office, so flew out to Germany, had to deal with German trains, which are always an interesting one to get used to. But we got there, and I mean, I've put a couple of pictures up, but the office is insane. It is so nice in Cologne, and they've got the whole studio set up there, 3 cameras, everything absolutely perfect. And then to get to cast 4 days of the highest tiers of Counter-Strike, you couldn't ask for any better, right? I had games like, I think I casted FaZe Vitality. In fact, I definitely did. I casted Astralis playing against someone, got a device 1v2. It was just full of the most insane quality of CS, and you can't help but get hyped up when you're at those sort of events.
Yeah, I can imagine it has to be hype when you're just used to casting, smaller streams, even just like Null NSC or all the other student streams, and then you actually get to say all the big names of the big teams and the big players and the clutch situations. Have you by any chance seen any of the clutch plays in any of the sort of, YouTube clip combinations of yourself yet?
Yeah, that was a little bit surreal.
Yeah.
I think it was Moses retweeted one of Katowice, and it was like they tagged like Moses and as the casters and all of that, and Henry G and Machine, and then it was like I watched the whole thing through, and there's like 4 clips where it's me and Vince, and that is just. There's sort of no way my brain can work it out because I've watched CS for so long, and these are the guys I look up to, and then it's like. There's a clip with Moses and Anders casting, then it's me, and then it's Henry G and Machine.
Yeah, it has to be surreal. It has to be absolutely amazing. Can you walk us through how exactly did you reach that point? What were sort of the key steps for you getting there?
So the first one I think always has to be just starting, right? Just starting casting. I just threw myself at, I think it was Newell I started doing for Surrey because nobody else was doing it and nobody was streaming the game. So I just watched the first team and talked about it. Obviously NSE, the caster of the term, that is an insane opportunity. I know they're running it again right now. I'm not sure if they've closed entries for it, but if they haven't, seriously, anybody who wants to cast, throw yourself at it because it is the most insane opportunity. And then from there, it was just sort of consistency. I casted MDL. I mean, I'd probably do it 3 nights a week, every week. And then any other games I can get on top of that. And then obviously the Global Challenge this December, that got me introduced to a lot of people from ESEA. And then Katowice really came out of nowhere. Joe Miller, who's head of talent at ESL, just DM'd me on Twitter and said, are you available in 2 weeks for a week? And I went, yes, if it's you asking, I will make myself available. And then he went, yeah, we've got a spot at Katowice. Vince is casting it. Do you want to go with him?
How long it took you to sort of process that sentence from him? Just like, was it instant? Yes, absolutely. Or it was like, oh my God, is this real? Am I dreaming? What is happening?
So first I checked it was actually his account.
Nice, good choice.
It wasn't someone pretending to be Joe Miller. And then I was actually at work, so I couldn't get insanely excited.
Yeah.
But I sort of sat there, had a quiet moment to myself. And then one of the guys who sits next to me at work also follows CS. And I said, dude, this is insane. Obviously, I couldn't tell him what the event was, but I was like, I've just been offered this really huge gig. And then it sort of set in that this gig was 2 weeks away and I had to go and ask my boss for a week's holiday on 2 weeks notice. And then the fear of that and the whole feeling, like it was such a mixed emotions.
Yeah.
But obviously it worked out brilliantly and it was just the experience of a lifetime. I don't think anybody can ever really put into words what it's like to get that first, I'm going to call it a tier 1 event because it was.
Absolutely.
That step up to go from your stream working with obviously some great casters, but not the legends of the scene, right? To then being on the secondary stream with the likes of Vince, Tombiz, Kaplan, who are all incredible casters, and to have the A stream above you with just absolute idols, there's no words for it.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely amazing. I can imagine the rest of the day when you found out in your office wasn't very productive, was it? You were sort of trying to do any work, but in your mind it's just, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, I couldn't concentrate. I'm not gonna lie. My work must have been so bad.
Nice. So, can you talk a little bit more about your experience of casting games with Vince? Like, what it feels like to have, a co-caster who's at that caliber. Like, does it make it easier for you to do casting, or like the dynamic? How was the dynamic? How was everything?
It was really good. I mean, Vince, he's an absolute legend. And the first thing he did when he found out it was me is he messaged me on Twitter and he said, okay, how can I make this better for you? How can I, because this is your first big event, how can I be that person who shows you off to get you more gigs in the future? Which I thought was just the nicest thing that person can do for you, right? And it's really easy to just slot in with casters who are this good because it's so natural and they sort of use their voice and their intonation so well that you never find yourself stumbling over each other. It's always just, okay, I can tell he's done with his point. I'll start picking up mine. And it just really flows quite nicely. It's difficult to describe, but it feels natural. You walk into the office and you've never casted with this guy before in your life, and then you just bounce off each other really well. And that happened with everybody I casted with. I casted with Kaplan as well. I know Tombiz did some work with Vince. It was just everybody, no matter what sort of combination we were running, it felt like you could just slot in. You could still get your moments. And, I wanted my clips, obviously, to tweet out on Twitter and stuff. So you could still get those moments, but you could leave room because it was Vince is a play-by-play. Obviously, I'm a play-by-play as well. So it felt like you could just, if you weren't there, if you didn't have the breath, if you weren't hyped up for this moment, you could just let it hang, and then the other person would pick up where you left off.
Nice. It must be amazing to cast together with stars like that, and just, I'm sure working with other professionals, it makes it just so much easier. Did you learn anything specific? Did they give you any tips and tricks, any guidance or anything like that? Anything you learned from the whole experience?
Never look at Reddit. Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah. I made the mistake at the end of day one. I always go on the Global Offensive subreddit. So I was just scrolling through, and then people just love to hate things. Yeah. So it was like, and then Vince was just like, stop looking at Reddit, man. It's not worth the time of day. But also shutting up a bit more. I think I'm really bad because I solo cast so much. Right. I'm really bad at just filling space. That's what I like to do. I like to talk. I don't like the silence. Yeah. And sometimes it's better just to give it a second and allow that sort of air of tension to build. But again, comes with time, right? The more you work with a partner, the more you can start to feel those gaps out. So it was a massive learning curve. It always was going to be. And I definitely started peaking too soon. Like I get too hyped up because in the back of my mind, I was going, I'm casting Kenny S with an AWP. Like I have to be hyped for this play. And occasionally I'd sort of get caught at the top of my voice and not be able to go any higher. But again, you learn these things the more you do, right? So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I get booked for some more events of that sort of insane caliber, and then I can work on it more and just keep on improving. Yeah, you really don't want to be the caster when you have an amazing clip and it's, amazing moments happening, and the caster is just like, oh, yeah, so Kenny S is just one up, no scope 360. Oh, okay, that's it, You want to hype it up as much as possible. Right, speaking about the next big events and things like that, so actually asking this question again, last question for today. When are we going to see you casting a major? Oh, that's such a bait question. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I'm doing this will be done by the time this video comes out, but I'm doing the closed qualifiers for Rio this weekend. Nice. The minor closed qualies. So I feel like it's just keep on casting. Yeah. Like that's what you've got to do. You just got to keep on grinding, because it's something Red Eye said to me. When you first start out, every stream you do, you'll get 1% better. And that sort of tapers off, obviously. The more streams you do, it's smaller gains. But when you're first starting out, just stream as much as physically possible. And that's something I've really taken to heart. I am taking today off because my voice is a little bit messy, to say the least. And I'm sure you can hear it. But just casting constantly. That's all there is to it. And I hope I get to cast a major at some point. I'm not going to put a date on it. I'm not going to put a time on it. Let's not jinx it. Let's not jinx it. But I feel like I could do it if I keep doing what I'm doing right now and I keep grinding things out. I feel like at some point I might be at that level. Nice. Well, amazing. Thank you so much for answering all of the questions. As always, I'll leave all the links and tags and everything to your social media in the description. And once again, thank you so much for coming. No worries at all.